Hello YouTube, welcome to Rob's Artcade. I'm your host Rob, and I'm coming to you once again from the arcade with another fun... and... Okay, Player 2s, let me tell you the deal about this annoying dog. Early in the day, I was using my Wiimote and this plastic gun attachment to play old school light gun games. Once I started playing Duck Hunt, this dog showed up and hasn't stopped bothering me ever since.
For those of you who don't know what Duck Hunt is, it was a game package with the old school Nintendo Entertainment System. You use a light gun called a Nintendo Zapper to shoot ducks out of the sky. If you miss, this annoying dog pops up and laughs at you. This dude hasn't stopped bugging me since I missed my first duck.
That's it. Now I'm sure some of my older Player 2s have wanted to do that for a very, very long time. Now that that's taken care of, let's take a second to check out what we're going to be drawing this episode. That's right, Player 2s. The topic of this episode is a dog I actually like. Goofy. But is Goofy even really a dog? I mean, like, Pluto's a dog, right? But Pluto can't talk, or like drive a car, or... Anyway, we're drawing Goofy. I'm going to teach all of my Player 2s how to draw Goofy using only easy to draw simple shapes. It's going to be a lot of fun. But before we get started doing that, I want to make sure all of my Player 2s have the necessary supplies.
Okay, Player 2s, it's time to start drawing Goofy. As usual, I'm going to start with red on the dry erase board. When I draw in red, I want you to press very lightly with your pencils. This is the guideline step. I'm going to draw in the middle of the paper. We're going to have to leave some room at the top and the bottom. So I'm going to start with an oval. Again, leave some room, probably to about there, to maybe about there, just so you can do the hat and the rest of his mouth. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a line right through the middle of the oval. Okay, we always do this just to keep everything separate on both sides. Then down at the bottom, we're going to leave a little space right there. We're going to draw another guideline. So we should have an oval, equal space on both sides, two guidelines. The next step, we're going to draw right inside of this oval, of the bottom part. We're going to draw a little curve, and then two small curves that go on the outside. So, curve, big curve, smaller curve. Oval, curve, big curve, smaller curve. Right where the guideline and the bottom of the oval meet, we're going to do another oval. Now, if you can see this starting to take shape, this is his nose, this is his eye area. Starting right about here below, we're going to draw a big curve that connects right to there. Okay, we're going to make this even on both sides, the same thing. A big curve that connects right to there. When we're done with that, we're going to draw two squares. After that, here's another oval starting from the middle of here all the way down to right there. So as you can see, looks like we have his eye area, his mouth, his nose, his teeth. We're going to draw a letter U inside of here, and kind of like a letter M for his tongue. Inside here, we're going to do the eyes. Okay, I just noticed that this is a little uneven on this side. This is a little big, so I'm just going to fix up this guideline. The whites of his eyes actually connect. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep it even on both sides. We're going to go up. We're going to draw kind of like a big letter M and make it even. Inside that letter M, we're going to do his eyeballs. His eyeballs do not connect. So we're going to do one oval here and one oval here. So as you can see, we almost have his face done. At the top of this, we're going to do two small curves for his eyebrows. Now we're going to work on his ears. Starting just a little bit above where this mouth meets and this original circle that we did, we're going to draw a small circle here, small circle here. Now we're going to draw through this area that we already drew just to make everything even. We're going to go back and erase this, so it may look a little messy, but you'll see what I'm doing. All the way down, past where the jaw ends, and then we're going to bring it up like this. So all the way down, past where the jaw ends, we're going to bring it up like this. Because when we eventually get to the final step and we start erasing our pencil lines, again, all my player 2 should be drawing very lightly right now. We're going to erase these lines right here so his ears are behind his mouth area. Next up, we're going to do the guidelines for his hat. First, we're going to start off kind of with a rectangle. Okay, now keep in mind too, Goofy's hat is always lopsided. So we're going to do a little curve, and we're going to do another rectangle, but it's going to be a little crooked. So we've got one rectangle, another rectangle in there, and then here we're going to do a shape that's kind of like two ovals connecting. So 1, 2. So as of right now, all my player 2 should have something that looks like this. If you don't, it doesn't look exactly like that, it's okay. Go back in the video, take a look and see where you may have made a mistake. Pause it, go back and fix your mistake. This is a new process for a lot of my player 2, so again, we're learning. So now we're going to go on to the next step. This is where I take my blue marker and draw on the board and trace over the lines. These are the lines that we press a little bit harder on, so this is showing some of the details. Again, we're going to go back and erase all of these lines at the final step. But as for right now, press a little bit harder, but keep in mind that we're going to erase these lines too. So the first thing we're going to start at the middle. So we'll go over his nose. We're going to add another detail line right here, just for a little crease. We're going to go over this, over this, over this. Now, we're going to draw kind of a letter C here, and then do a little line right there, okay? I hope my player 2 saw that. So a little C right here and a little line here that connects to this. And we're going to go around our guideline right here. We're going to add a little lip right there. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, it's going to be a backwards letter C. And it's going to go around and go around here like this. Next thing, we're going to do the teeth and the mouth. There's the tongue. We're going to add a little bit of detail right here underneath there to give them maybe, I think it's a little bit of a lip. And then we're going to go down and around and do the jaw. Next thing, we're going to do the eyes. Letter M. And then we're going to do the eyeballs right here. Over the ears. Over the ears right here. Tracing over the guidelines that we did right there. We're going to do a curve over here. We're going to curve this original rectangle that we did right there. We're going to follow those guidelines that we had there. Go over here. We're going to add a little stripe to his hat. A little curve underneath there. Again, if I'm going too fast, the good thing about this being on YouTube is you can pause it, keep up. So then I'm going to go around the hat right here. And there you go. Step 2 is complete. Right now we have a completed picture of Goofy. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our black felt tip pen or a black magic marker and trace over only the parts in blue. Only the blue parts. All these other guidelines and stuff eventually are going to be erased, and then you're going to have a finished picture. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the nose. Then I'm going to go around here. Finish the nose and the mouth. Here's this. Into the tongue, inside the mouth. I'm going to just color that in really quick just so you guys can see what that looks like. Tooth, tooth, mouth. I'm going to go in the eyeballs, over his eyes, and all this stuff over here is all going to be black. So again, I'm just going to shade it in just a little bit just to indicate where the black parts are. So over here, like be careful with your markers and stuff so you don't smudge everything all over the place. Right over there. Down here. Down here. Do the hat. Here we go. And there you go. Now we have a completed picture of Goofy. Give your picture a couple minutes to let your ink dry, and then what you can do is you can take your eraser and erase all of the pencil lines. So all these lines over here will disappear, and it will leave you only with the black lines that you have. See, I just noticed I missed a little spot right there, which happens sometimes. So just make sure before you erase all your pencil lines, you've inked over all of your other lines. And there you go. My player 2s have just drawn Goofy. I can't wait to see what your pictures look like. Good job, guys. On this edition of the Classic Game Showcase, we're going to spend a little time with Goof Troop on the Super Nintendo. Based on the classic television series of the same name, this action-adventure game was released in 1993 and developed exclusively for the Super Nintendo by Capcom. The player controls either Goofy or his son Max in single-player or simultaneous multiplayer mode. Each character possesses different attributes. For example, Goofy is slower yet stronger than Max, while Max is faster and weaker. The story of this game begins with Goofy and Max going on a fishing trip with their neighbors Pete and PJ. The trip doesn't go quite as planned when Pete and PJ are kidnapped by pirates and taken to Spoonerville Island. It's up to Goofy and Max to work their way through 5 areas of the island and eventually rescue their friends from the pirate ship where they're being held captive. The goal of each level is to solve various puzzles in order to reach a boss battle at the end of the stage. Goofy and Max are not warriors who can take on their foes directly. Instead, they have to resort to using other methods like throwing objects or kicking blocks into them. Players must also collect various items to use and can only hold one item at a time, unless you're playing single player, in which you can hold 2. These items can be used to knock back enemies and solve puzzles,
but I won't go into details as I don't want to spoil certain points of the game. Collecting fruit allows Goofy and Max to take an additional hit, and extra lives are earned by collecting fruit and not receiving damage. Collecting red diamonds earn an extra life, while collecting blue diamonds earn an extra continue. If you lose all of your lives in continues, don't worry. This game has a password system that allows you to start at the beginning of each stage. This game is a lot of fun in single player mode, but even more so when playing multiplayer mode with a friend. In fact, the only real gripe I have with this game is the fact that some of the puzzles seem to be designed for 2 players. Unfortunately, the only way to play this game is by playing the original Super Nintendo cartridge, but here's to hoping it gets the HD remaster treatment just like its fellow Disney afternoon cartoon, DuckTales. I highly recommend playing this, with a friend of course, if you get the opportunity. Till next time.
That's a wrap on another episode of Rob's Arcade. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow. Also be sure to follow Rob's Arcade at the social media links listed in the description below. Now as far as the next episode goes, well, we're going to be going to a whole new world. Keep drawing, Player 2s, and I'll see you next time at Rob's Arcade.